Truman Talks Law on Great Day Live is sponsored by the Karl Truman Law Office.
Summer driving season means more cars on the road traveling some long distances, and oftentimes you freak out a little bit when you see those gigantic trucks in your rear view mirror.
That's right. Attorney Karl Truman is here to talk about accidents involving these commercial trucks and tractor-trailer vehicles, because we know they can be very dangerous, potentially. Good morning to you.
Yes, we see tractor trailers. It seems like they're all over the road, and we constantly see them every day. And you know, like most people, truck drivers are, for the most part, are good, hardworking, dedicated people. But occasionally, you do get some, just as in any business, where a company tries to cut corners with maintenance or cost and record keeping, and then that can cause some trouble.
And there are all sorts of records that are to be kept. Isn't there a black box on board and also a driver log?
Right. The thing about a tractor trailer, and I've handled many tractor trailer crashes, but a lot of people think, and even many lawyers think, well, they can just treat it just like any other car accident, although there is no any other car accident. But it's not a car accident. It's a very unique, different type of case that really requires a different approach to really handle properly.
And oftentimes these accidents involving tractor trailers are fatal because you're talking about such a huge vehicle. But regardless, the person involved, their family, what's the first step they need to do if a loved one's in an accident like this? What should they do first?
Well, the first thing is, to have an attorney be able to protect and preserve evidence, because there are so many things, as you mentioned, the black box, and there's driver logbooks. Oftentimes now the trucks have GPS systems that even record their speed, where they've been, how long they've been on the road, when they took their last break, which are all governed by federal regulations and federal laws. So if we don't preserve that very quickly, then will probably be destroyed, because their insurance companies know that it only has to be protected for a certain length of time, and once that time is up, they want to get rid of it. So we have to take steps to make sure that evidence is preserved. And
clearly, with emotional trauma involving a family member or yourself being involved in an accident, that time can escape you quickly. So you sort of need to jump ahead and think about what your rights are.
Well, especially in a serious collision where there's serious injuries or even a death involved, I know that it's not what people want to think about. You have to deal with grieving, but by having an attorney, by having us deal with these issues now, you don't have to worry about them. So we can take care of these types of issues, so you can focus on your family, focus on what you need to take care of, and let us handle the details of preserving evidence, making sure that any evidence is preserved. Oftentimes I've had to get accident reconstructionists out to an accident scene within days, because whether it's debris or vehicles being destroyed or skid marks being washed away, if I don't get out there right away to protect that and have accident reconstruction people look at that right away, then all that evidence is gone.
And another difficult situation a lot of times is a driver has bounced between a lot of different carriers and has a record that may have been hidden.
And that's important to look at too, because we have to look at the driving record, what type of safety programs they've been involved in. There's all kinds of regulations that the trucking company has to follow to make sure the public is protected.
And also driver fatigue is an issue, because we know these truck drivers, they work really long hours or traveling long miles. It's a hard job, and so you want to check and make sure, was this driver properly rested before he or she went on the road?
They may have been out on the road for a long time and anxious to get home and cutting corners. There is a certain amount of time that they have to take breaks when they're on the road, and that's for our safety and their safety too. So sometimes they do cut corners.
All right, for legal help, you can check with the Karl Truman Law Office at 502-222-2222, all twos.
And TrumanLaw.com.
Attention! The FDA has issued a nationwide alert for doctors and women who have received a transvaginal mesh patch. This pelvic mesh has been associated with serious and even life-threatening complications, including breakage of the outer vaginal lining, infection, internal bleeding, pain, and punctures to the internal organs. If you or a loved one have developed serious health problems because of a